Here we are on another Saturday, getting ready to talk about something that, well, has probably been talked about quite a bit. But when I took my first cruise in 30 years last year, I got a little confused about exactly what to pack. So, on today's adventure, we're going to take a look at how you pack for flying and also packing for a cruise. They're not necessarily the same thing. Yes, there are a lot of things that cross over from the TSA regulations to cruise lines, but it's not all the same. Cruise lines can be quite different. So I'm going to try and touch a little bit on all of it. It's going to be a quick overview. And let's just jump into it, shall we? So we're talking about TSA lines versus cruise lines. What do you pack and where do you put it? Okay. I want to start with some common sense things. For instance, get yourself a packing list of some sort that has all the items on it that you're going to need for a cruise. Figure out what you want to take and buy as much of that ahead of time as you can, because I guarantee you on the cruise ship, it's going to be a lot more. Good morning, Nicole. So glad you could join us. Happy 4th to you as well. Uh, it's a good day. It's hot, but it's a good day. Good morning, Donna. Welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. So, like I said, plan ahead. Buy what you need before you need it. If you're not sure if you're going to take it or not, buy it ahead of time. Things like suntan lotion, seasick medicine, band-aids, any kind of first aid thing you might need. Get those ahead of time. There are some similarities between TSA regulations and what the cruise lines ask you to do, but it's not all the same. It's just not all the same. And if I miss anything along the way, please feel free to comment here on the stream or in the comments below if you're watching on the playback, because, like I said, it's just an overview. There could be some things I'll miss, but I'm going to try and hit on the things that are most important. There are some things that TSA will allow, however, that may be denied when you get on a cruise ship. So we're going to look at that a little bit as well. So what goes in your carry-on and what goes under? There are some things that need to travel with you in your carry-on that you can put in the cargo hold as well, but you don't want to do that with some things. So let's take a look at some examples. Like I said, this is not an exhaustive list, but also double check with the TSA website, your airline, or the cruise line that you're going on to make sure what their guidelines are when you're getting ready to travel. For carry-on luggage on a flight, you want to make sure that you're following the 311 rule. I had heard that this might change a little bit, but I haven't seen it in writing yet. So right now it's 3.4 ounces. And you can take pretty much, I usually carry a small shampoo, a small thing of suntan lotion with me. Little toiletry items. If I carry shave cream with me, it's a little travel size one because I don't need very much. As you can see, I shave a lot. Mark's music obsession. Welcome in, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome in. Happy Independence Day to you as well. And something that's suggested is you place all these in a 1 quart sized resealable bag, like a Ziploc or something along that lines. That way, if they do need to look at it, they can pull it out, look at it, and it's not really that big of a deal. You can pack shampoo bars or toothpaste tablets to allow reduced hassle. I've never used any of those, so I don't know that I would necessarily go that route. And know that you can pack larger items of these in your suitcase that's being checked. Also, when you carry on, you want to make sure that your electronics are all easily accessible. I typically put like all my recharging cords, um, charging blocks, external batteries, all that stuff, either in one spot in the bag or again in a clear plastic bag. So I just pull it all out, lay it on the belt. It goes through, they see what it is, all good, on you go. Um, and using TSA pre-check, such a time saver because it makes that whole process a lot easier. One of the things that doing pre-check offers you is the ability to basically not strip down before you walk through the magnetic door. Um, it's a pre-certification process. They check you out. They make sure that you're, first of all, um, eligible for pre-check, and then they do a background check to see if you have anything that causes them pause to keep you from boarding the plane or taking certain things with you on board. And that's a repeat, so don't pay attention to that. Food and medical items. Solid food is allowed, and also liquids like formula, breast milk, toddler milk, basically anything you might need for your child are allowed in excess of the 3.4 guideline. But you do need to declare those and have them screened separately. So again, maybe in a separate bag or in a quick pouch that you can pull out and make it available for looking at. Ice packs and liquid filled teethers are also permitted in that case. Make sure your medications are packed in your carry-on. You don't want to get trapped without those somewhere, especially if you're relying on insulin. If you have, pardon me, guys, it's like 102 in here. If you have allergies, you want to make sure you have that EpiPen handy. And I do carry CPAP with me. So I always make sure that I have that with me and declare it as I'm going through security checkpoint. And the bag that I use that for is actually quite nice because it has a sleeve that I can put my phone and a few other things into, or if I want to carry my tablet with me, I can put that in there. I don't usually take that anywhere, but it can happen from time to time. Other items, air mattresses with a built-in pump. I don't know that I would see a need for that, but maybe some people do. Body armor, you can use blenders that don't have blades. Those are allowed in your carry-on. I found that to be quite interesting. How do you blend without a blade? Just wondering. And then last but not least, and this goes for both your flying and your cruising, you want to make sure that all your travel documents are with you, not in your checked bag. That would be your passport or your photo ID for boarding the flight, your cruise documents for boarding your ship, anything you might need, because should you get separated from your checked bag for any reason, then you have something on hand to show that you have the right to be there. So that's important to keep a hold of. Okay, for your checked baggage, stuff that has to go into the cargo hold, any sharp objects, sports equipment that can be used to basically hit somebody with, those would be prohibited in your cabin. Alcoholic beverages with 24% alcohol or less have no restrictions. Beverages over that You're limited to 5 liters per passenger in an unopened retail package. Now, this showed up under checked luggage, but I'd have a hard time doing that. Anybody have experience at that? I'd be interested to know. Alcohol over 70% is prohibited. I think I know why. And aerosol insecticides are allowed if not labeled as hazardous material. And since DDT was outlawed a long time ago, also any batteries or electronics that you carry with you that have batteries, those do not. Because I don't know how I did all this. I went through all this and I'm still confused. But here we are. I'll figure it out. Fly with me, folks. We'll make it happen. If you have lithium batteries in anything, those cannot be checked. They have to go on board. I didn't read through this well enough. Admittedly, some of this was AI generated, and I should have read through it closer, but I didn't. And valuables like cash, jewelry, and important documents should also stay in your carry-on. It looks like that really. Okay. When you're traveling on aircraft, generally speaking, 22 by 14 by 9 should be your carry-on size. It might differ a little bit with each airline. So again, check with your airline specifically before you purchase anything bigger. Make sure that, okay. Pack heavy items at the bottom and organize electronics and liquids in separate accessible layers. So that makes sense. You do have weight limits you have to keep, whether it's a carry-on or a checked bag. You have to stay within those areas. Use packing cubes or organizers to reduce clutter. I actually have used packing cubes. I've used the compression type. They're really cool because even though it doesn't take any weight out, it gives you more room to put stuff in. And you don't feel like your bag is going to explode at the seams or blow its zipper if you're using a zipper. And it can also speed up any inspection you might have getting on the aircraft. Cruise ships have some general guidelines, and I'm going to go over a few of those. Extension cords or power strips that are surge protected are not permitted on most cruise lines. There might be some exceptions. I don't know of any right offhand. Just about every cruise ship I've seen has European style plugs as well as US style. I don't typically trust the USB ports either at the hotel or on cruise ships, especially if they're older, because with a lot of our equipment now, they need something a little faster, a little more secured for charging purposes. So I always make sure I carry a charging block with me, and I don't have one with me right here to show you, but you can find them on Amazon or in most electronics stores. They basically plug into the outlet, and then like the one I has 2 or 3 USB-Cs and then a couple of regular USB plugs in it. So you can hook up multiple items for that. There are also units that you can buy that will plug into the European style plugs and give you multiple options for plugging in, whether it's a 3-prong plug or a USB or a USB-C. Many of them have all of those items there. You're not allowed to take on with you clothes irons, steamers. Not sure about curling irons. If anybody knows about that, let me know. coffee makers, hair dryers. All cruise ships have a hair dryer on, but they have a maximum setting on them as how many, I believe, I don't know if it's watts or volts, but what their maximum power setting is. Anything over that is simply not allowed. So you have to be aware of that. And anything that would create an open flame, candles, matches, lighters in the room, um, those kinds of things are generally not permitted. Yeah, I didn't think so, Mark. Thank you for that. Yeah. Anything that has a heating element in it that you could accidentally leave on or might lay on a wrong surface that could cause damage or a fire, that makes sense to me that those would not be allowed. Excessive alcohol. And I know that some cruise lines are changing all the guidelines on alcohol right now, but they are paying more attention to what people might be using to, for lack of a better term, smuggle alcoholic items on board that are prohibited. I've seen people use hollowed out shaving cans. I've heard of people using shampoo bottles or anything else in the way of a bottle. Uh, People even try to use cups and try to sneak it on that way. So let's not do that. CBD, marijuana, other controlled substances, bringing those on board can get you escorted off the ship in a hurry, assuming you get on in the first place. And you may be on your way back home. And at that point, you're not entitled to a refund. So just don't do that stuff. Don't take it with you. Drones, kites, anything that flies are not permitted on cruise ships in general. They can create interference with operations of the ship. They most certainly can be a bother to other passengers. And I think even when I go to shoot video, I try to be careful not to get specific people in my shots. Crowds are okay, but I don't like to zoom in on any one person. I don't want to be accused of doing something I shouldn't be doing with my equipment. And so there's all that. Certain sunscreens are uh, meant to protect ocean life. So look for ocean safe products to bring on your cruise. They are available. Amazon has them. They can be a little more pricey than the regular stuff, but if they decide to check it, you want to make sure that you've got what they require you to bring. Perishable and homemade food that's prepackaged and unopened are allowed. Homemade meals are banned for safety. Wonder what that's for. Oh, well. And these are items that they suggest you leave behind. This is going to be a short stream, guys, because it's hot. Everybody's got plans going on. So I don't know how much more we're going to get talking about here, but so leave behind extra towels and bedding. You don't need that stuff taking up room in your luggage anyhow. I mean, after all, where are you going to bring the souvenirs home in if your bag's already full when you get there? You could be like me, where I didn't plan that part very well. I had to buy a bag on the ship I was on last year, and I'm sure I paid way more for that bag than what I would have had I done it somewhere else. But I needed it. And if you do want something with your bedding, or if you want a different kind of pillow, ask your cabin steward when you get on board, because a lot of times they have options, or they can bring you like a topper for your bed if you want something a little softer. They often have different types of pillows. I'm allergic to down feathers, so I prefer a foam pillow. And I usually check, even when I get to a hotel. I've never figured out why 6 pillows, all different shapes and sizes, need to be on a bed in a hotel, or for that matter, on a cruise ship. But I guess this is why, because people have different needs. Maybe out of all that, you can find one you can live with. Although the little squares don't do me any good. I got a big head, so I need a big pillow. Large, bulky items don't need to be going with you on your ship. Unless you're going to Alaska, where you might need a winter jacket, or maybe, well, if you're going to Alaska and you're departing from Seattle or Vancouver, I suppose you could wear winter boots on board if you wanted to. And then I always, this suggests not bringing extra shoes, but I always carry 2 pairs of shoes because it helps me prevent the formation of blisters. 2 different pairs of shoes will rub differently, and therefore it could keep you from getting horrible blisters with all the walking that you do. So just be careful of that. And remember that oversized luggage just takes up space and it may not be needed. And again, always check your cruise line's prohibited items list before packing. Check it all out. And even with airlines, check with them as well before you do anything to see exactly what you might need to do before packing. So, give me just a second here. Told you this was going to be short, and it is. But that's okay. I wanted to get something out there for those of you that are loyal and helpful and everything. So before I do sign off, let me remind you that I do have a Patreon account now. So if you want to join up and help support what's being done here, I would be eternally grateful, but it's not necessary. It starts at just $3 a month, and any proceeds raised through that or through my PayPal account will strictly go to support the efforts of what's being done here. If I decide to use it for anything outside of that, I will let everybody else know before that happens. And also, if you get the chance, pop over to the Three Strands Talks Facebook group and sign up, because I am going to start using that more to communicate what's coming up, get ideas on other things to do, run polls and that kind of stuff. So I would really appreciate your help on that. So this afternoon we have Port Canaveral departures. At 3:30 we've got Carnival Freedom and Carnival Mardi Gras. Those are our standard departures. We love those ships. We've got Adventure of the Seas at 4 o'clock. And then Disney, I don't know if I'm going to have any horns for you to treasure. So we'll see how that goes. Mark, I can't remember. What are you going on in 64 days? Because I might want to stow away or something, you know. Just saying. I wish I had the ability to cruise as much as I would like to cruise. But I am not a rich man. I work as a bus driver after all. So, and for those of us going on the Seashore cruise, we've got 127 days to departure. So, oh, nice. Mark, that'll be really cool. And if you're out circle waving, I'll try and get some video capture of that and post it on our Facebook page for you. Donna, I hope you could come and join us for ships as well. Um, I've gotten to the point where I don't chat that much in there anymore just because it goes by really fast. And when I'm hot and tired, I just don't really know what I want to say. Just, just really don't. So, um, next week, I want to start doing a series of ships outlining the different cruise lines and the ships that they sail. And I think I'm going to start with Royal Caribbean um, because they have a lot of ships. They have a lot of different classes, and there's more stuff coming up. But I'm just going to give an overview of everything um, that they offer. May talk a little bit about some of the onboard features, but those features may not be applicable across the entire fleet. So we'll um, see how that goes. We'll be looking for that, Mark. We will definitely be looking for that. It's okay if she's from Pennsylvania. It's okay if she's a Pittsburgh fan. I'm a Browns fan. We all have our crosses to bear, So thank you, Donna. I hope you can tune in and be a part of things. In 2 weeks, I have um, the cruising clergy coming on. He is actually my pastor, but he's done several carnival cruises over the years. So he's got quite a bit to share on that. And hopefully that will be um, something of interest for everybody. That's a good itinerary. Private Island, as in Half Moon Cay. I think that's theirs. Am I thinking right? Or is it Great Stirrup? I can't remember, but man, I've seen pictures and it looks like they're really doing some good things over there. All right, friends. Well, that's all there is for today. As far as the faith segment goes, it's very simple. Just God bless America. He has blessed us greatly. And sometimes I think we forget that. So I hope you all go out, have a great day, enjoy your families, celebrate. If you have served or are serving in our military, happen to catch this video, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do for us. And I guess at this point, we'll just see you all in the next stream. Have a great day. God bless. Hey.